Good
Good
morning.
morning, Jonathan and
Good
Scott.
morning.
Morning,
Hello.
everyone.
Italian sweet cream. Dwayne Rains. Scotty light and sweet. Johnny baby, the triple espresso. Good morning.
Nice nail work there. You got your mani done.
That's right. That's right. This work from home allows us to, well, who knows what I'm wearing underneath this button-up shirt, from the waist down, right? I had a friend. Had a friend who had received a promotion earlier in the year, earlier in quarantine, and was so happy to tell us all about it. They're using the money, buying a house, all these things, and she said, it was so funny. I got this promotion, got this raise, wearing nothing but a shirt, and. And it was a Zoom chat, family Zoom chat. And to which my son says, yeah, well, I'm sure you were wearing underwear. And she kind of just looked at us on the Zoom and does one of these faces. So yeah, you could do what you want. Just do a good job. And isn't that what we should all be judged on anyhow?
Should be, yes.
So we got an idea. We got a solution that's become pretty popular here for a number of reasons. One of the reasons is digital signage. In the day and age of screens everywhere, any sign can be a digital sign. Makes it more dynamic. Makes your advertising able to change more easily. You don't have to worry about the print and redesigning things. It's just loading new signage to your signage player, and then we got the box to split that signage to go to multiple screens for you. We got a solution. This box can even, these systems can even be used. You see now more and more of these sports bars are needing to cart out displays, some portable mounting solutions, and basically take the sports bar outside to their parking lot and or patio areas. And we have a perfect piece for that as well. This is even something that our friends on the broadcast side, when you have your directors and they are producers and they have to review the takes and choose which take is appropriate. That used to be done in everybody huddled around a single screen. And now with social distancing, you have to do this with on multiple screens. And, you could alternatively do it over Zoom, and there's devices for that. But it's a little bit like so many things we're experimenting with right now, where we're trying to find the best way to make sure that you can be quick and responsive, and maintaining safety. So this is, we got some boxes for that. We're talking, of course, about our splitters, DA 2x4G, 2x8G. Anything you guys want to add to those usage cases?
Yeah, absolutely, Jonathan, because with the 2x4 and 2x8, as you'll get into here in a little bit on the presentation, you can take two different sources and you can switch and distribute those out to 4 displays or 8 displays, just over cat cables. It comes fully with the extenders built in units. It's very, very nice solution for these trying times. And, they can roll their TVs out on rolling carts. This one switch distributes it all, and you can have 1 or 2 sources, easily change it. It's app friendly, so you can change the source via the app, and we'll show that a little bit too. So it's great. I think it's a big opportunity here for people.
Jonathan, I wanted to go back one step. I wish I was in the tent business, because the amount of tents, like me being in Jersey in the shore area, every restaurant took everything outside. So now with some percentages of indoor dining aspect, now I have have guys and dealers of ours that are moving everything that they had outside inside.
Yeah.
Or they're splitting the difference between the two and say, hey, I got to have half the displays inside for the 25% and half of the rest of them outside. But yeah, who would have thought that, owning a tent business would have been like, a millionaire overnight? It's crazy.
Well, yeah, and the other thing, Scott, to that is, over the summer, you had a lot more days with the outside was fine. But
Yeah.
now that we're starting to move towards fall, you're going to have those rainy days where you need those tents, where you can't just put tables outside and go, So, but you still have to move this move the technology in and out, and the more portable you can make it. And this unit allows for that portability to some extent.
Or
yeah.
time to start buying stock in companies that make outdoor heaters.
It's
Is going to be the next one. So.
That's on us now. Good point there. Hey, you get the distance with this for sure. You get 100 meters. In fact, so you could space your TVs apart plenty. Scott.
Are we adding the heater attachment for each output as well? So when it goes to display, it actually sends out the heat? No, maybe not. Okay.
That's not a bad idea. Huddle around the ballon, everyone.
we got to talk to engineering about that and say, hey, we need to add some BTU count to the balance.
I love it. Well, I've prepared a special slide deck for us here. So light and sweet. You want to pass the baton my way, sir?
Absolutely, sir.
Okay, so let me go ahead and share this content. Yep, there we are. Sorry, I asked, I wasn't ready. Okay, you guys can see my slides now?
Yes, sir.
Cool. These are our models: KD, DA, 2x4G, 2x8G, DA, distribution amplifier, 2 in, 4 out, 2 in, 8 out, and G, well, that stands for 18 gigabits per second as it is now. And as the trends are now, the latest and greatest HDMI standards need high bandwidth. These are supporting that on all inputs and all outputs. Distribution amplifiers, we used to know those as splitters, right? You could take an incoming source, split it to 2, 4, 8 displays. You may be accustomed to our traditional splitters with the HDMI in and the HDMI out, sending that same signal to multiple displays. So some call them splitters, some call them distribution amplifiers. I think it's a more professional terminology, distribution amplifier. Splitter, it's a little bit of a dirty word, right, guys?
You think of splitting, you think of weakening the signal. And that we're not doing that.
Exactly. Each and every output has the same signal strength as the original source, and in fact, it's improved from the original incoming signal because of our full buffer technology, as we'll show here in a moment. So this is you're going to have all the content is going to be the same across all of your displays. So digital signage, as we talked about, or you're having advertising of some sort going to all your displays, you don't need to have a signage player potentially at each and every display with a device like this, a system like ours. So it makes it ideal for your transit stations. Imagine your arrival, departure information at each and every gate. Retail showrooms, corporate messaging, and the list goes on there. Even Froyo stands, right? Or Froyo shops you have. So when you're considering your design considerations, do you want to use your splitter distribution amp with a extender? Well, we put that into this box actually. So many people were using our splitters with extenders that we combined it. And these are complete kits. So you might look at different boxes that are out there and look at our solution and just know this is everything you need. It's the splitter and the extenders. All the receive extenders are in the box. All you need is a single cat run to each display location. Sometimes people use this with a matrix switcher or matrix system as a way of adding flexibility of how many sources you could show on the front end. And we actually did that for you as well with this. These, as the name implies, 2 in, 4 out, 2 in, 8 out, and all 2 or 4, 4 or 8 outputs will show the same thing at the same time. So it's not a matrix, it is a switcher. So here's a closer look at the DA 2x4G, 2x8G. And we're going to go into more details as to what all this gives you, but they are full rack width products. So they install perfectly in your traditional AV IT racks. Rack ears are included, as they are always with KeyDigital parts. Power supply included as well. And in fact, we even see the 2x8 has 2 power supplies, one for the main unit and one for all 8 extenders. Meanwhile, with the 2x4, we were able to do it in just a single power connection. So you don't have, this is huge. Behind all 4 or 8 displays, you don't have to struggle to find the space for an additional power supply for your receive balun behind the TVs, right? So
really important, very important.
Building this into as many devices and systems as we can now, either POH, power over HDBaseT, PoE, power over Ethernet for AV over IP devices. So here's a traditional application. Just the switcher plus splitter, 2x1 switching built in. So here you're looking at digital menu boards. Okay. And I mentioned earlier, Froyo, you go to those places and they have displays up, usually showing their menu. And, from time to time, they want to switch it up. It's football season has arrived and they want to show the football game, or we're almost approaching the Stanley Cup Finals in the NHL, and they want to show the hockey game, basketball, etc. Local news, doesn't matter. So this is a really nice way of having like an A/B switch where you have your primary content, and from time to time, you want to show the secondary content from a cable satellite box or whatever that additional source may be. And it's going to go to all 4 or 8 displays. This is, previously took 2 boxes to achieve. Additionally, we have audio de-embedding built in. So it's really just every application that was we analyzed how these boxes were being used previously, how your traditional splitters were being used, and we combined everything right there for you. So we have digital and analog de-embedding. So you could, if this is installed in a commercial environment, you could just choose your power amp, have the analog or digital audio go into that. And now it should be noted that there are no volume controls in our device. So you have that in your amplifier. There's no format conversion. So if you're coming in 7.1 audio, you're not gonna be able to take that out analog. But typically you're just looking at 2-channel audio from your cable box and your signage player anyhow, maybe background music, etc. Going through there. So really just a lot of applications, everything built in here. Another cool feature is the auto switching. You press the auto button on the remote to activate it, and then the switching is activated via hot plug detection from the source. So what is hot plug detection? We have a full course online called our Digital Video Fundamentals, some really fantastic information in there. Maybe we'll do a future coffee with Key on that, when we really just geek out together. But the hot plug, your source turns on, it sends voltage to the connected display, informing that display, hey, you have a live partner on the other end of the cable here. And when that source sends us the hot plug is when we will cue the switching, the auto switching. And it could go, traditionally we see that in conference rooms, somebody plugs in the cable to their laptop and we could switch over to them because now they're telling us we want to be the presenter. They could even disconnect their laptop and we can switch to the other source. So you turn off the signage player and it will switch over to your cable sat box In other words, using the application example that we had on a previous slide. Now, when you're going to your extenders, when you're going to your displays, you want to perhaps control those displays, turning them on or off, for example, in digital signage. If you're not a facility that's running 24/7, if you're more of a fro-yo shop and less of an airport or transit hub, right? And so you could have your controller feed in the RS-232 or the IR to turn on, off all those displays, control them however you will. So you see there's a Phoenix connector for you integrators. There's a Phoenix connector at each output port that's going to pass through. And there's a toggle switch where you specify IR or RS-232 to have it feed out on the respective IR or RS-232 port at the receiver. And there's even a really cool feature. Let me take a step back here. You could actually have IR input. Or RS-232 is bidirectional after all. So, but you can have an input from one of your output zones or displays. So we're looking here at the main display, and the user there has the remote to change the cable or sat box, to change the channel, and that's all possible because we include the IR sensor in the box. And you could send your IR backward from the display to the source, so they don't have to switch the cable sat box walking into the equipment room or the equipment closet. And maybe that's even going to be an IR for the volume control of the amplifier as well. Scott, Dwayne, did you guys know that was possible?
Absolutely, of course we did. Now, Jonathan, let me ask you this: I believe this is app ready. Now we're showing it here with the MC1000, but because of the control aspect. But if you're just looking to switch, this is an app ready. Both of these are app ready products too, correct?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Yeah, there's a little mismatch on that application diagram. In fact, there. Yeah, we're going to show the app GUI in just a moment. I kind of skipped ahead to see if that was one of the next slides. It is not. That is a great question, sir, and I'm glad you asked that. Give me just a moment, and I'll show. Scott, anything from you, sir?
At this very moment, no. Just trying to think of, signage applications. Basically everything in a box. Turnkey solution. So,
yeah,
and a lot of guys that use these.
And the nice thing is about how we can do the auto sensing feature, so they can play the signage normally, but when you want to interrupt it with something, you can plug a computer in and automatically have it switch. It's a really nice feature as well.
Wonderful, 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 guys. Thank you very much. So, so I want to also direct your attention now, to the problem solvers. Everything prior to this was all about installation, integration, and the tools we have that make that job easier for you, the installer. That's what we're always trying to do, is make our installers' life, our installer's job easier. Can't really quite go into the personal life, I suppose. So here is, just these very descriptive link lights that are on each and every input and output. The inputs will light up if there is an active incoming HDMI signal. The output lights indicate that you have a healthy connectivity with your receiver. So, this is really just, it's like having a colleague there on the job site with you, standing at the display to tell you, hey, yeah, we got picture, and these things are just really, really useful, really, really verbose. And speaking of verbose, it's one thing to be a little chatty, but it's another thing to drink a triple espresso and just tell you your life story, right? That might might be coming out of the mouth of your humble narrator here.
Hey, Scotty, I didn't bring my thesaurus today. Jonathan keeps bringing up these big words and make us have to look them up. So
I think Jonathan is on the news feed of Word of the Day. So I think part of that is it just pops up. So
he's made it all the way to the V's. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, it's this it just happens to be within arm's reach of Dwayne. Oh my gosh! Yesterday, my oh man, I could have the score sheet right here. My first 3 turns, I hit 2 bingos on my Scrabble game yesterday. I broke 400 for, I want to say, my first time, and I had my second bingo was 103-point word a play. So
Wow.
yeah.
And your wife still beat you.
No, she didn't. She actually, it happens sometimes. I had a 93-point turn, early in the summer. And I remember being so pumped up about that I lost the game. I just my head wasn't in it. And so it was kind of a little bit of a boring game afterward. But she basically said, well, I guess I'm going to keep with this game. I don't think there's much chance of me winning, but I'm going to stick with it regardless. And she did a good job. I broke 400. She was in the mid 300. So it became pretty close. That's a testament of how good of a player she is and how lucky I got at the beginning, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, we've been playing pretty much every day since quarantine set in. She was smoking me at the beginning. Unfortunately, we threw away our scorecards. She put together a really nice Scrabble line graph of all of our scores, and I've been taking pictures every day of the boards. So we'll put together some kind of quarantine collage at the end of all this. So anyhow, yep. So yeah, here we are. Speaking of verbosity, these, if you've been working with our extenders recently, and you look at our 444S, I want to say, where there's the first product to do this. I could be wrong, but our EX18Gs have this. Now our extenders have more than just the link light. We have link, we have live, we have the HDMI link, as I mentioned earlier, and we have video. So you might be looking at all these and wondering, what did all these mean? But this is, again, this is even better than having your colleague at the other end of the cable and telling you we got picture or not. Because the HDMI link, as I mentioned, on the on the incoming side, this means you got a video signal coming in. On the receiver, this tells you got the hot plug with the connected display. So just like the hot plug triggers are auto switching, if you've enabled that, your display gives you hot plug as well. It's actually a two-way. It's got to complete the loop. And so the source tells the display, hey, you got a live partner. The display tells the source, yeah, you've got a live partner. This is at the core of HDMI connectivity. This is what initiates the EDIT exchange and HDCP authentication. But anyhow, the display turns on, it gives the hot plug to the receive ballot in the case of this system being installed. And so this lets you know you have that. It's healthy, that HDMI link. Live is a steady blink. This is a healthy CPU state inside of the receiver. So this is like a heartbeat. You don't want it to just be a steady on or completely off. The link is your healthy connectivity to the main unit itself, this main splitter distribution amp itself, and video is an active AV signal passing through. So this just tells you so much, because in the HDMI world, you hardly see a problem that it tells you what the problem is. So this allows us to break it down into those 3 or 4 different potential problems, if you should have one, to address them. These are the problem solvers tools. Again, always trying to make the installer's job easier.
It's like built-in tech support.
Absolutely. And you can still call tech support to ask, what do these lights mean? But it's also in the manual.
And Jonathan, you mentioned not having to have that second technician on site. That reduces your installation cost as well.
Boom. That's what it's all about.
Or if you're trying to get your steps in, you still want to make that walk, for the day. So.
Oh man. Okay. And now we are improving the integrator's quality of life, man. Mm-hmm. Is there nothing we thought of? So here's a quick look at our full buffer system, including remember we mentioned splitter being a dirty word, and it indicates that, each more time you split it, it weakens the original signal. Well, here you're looking at where we apply our TMDS reclocking. It's actually on the input side of this system. So you may, we think of, oh, the source is plugged in right there with a short 1 meter, 2 meter cable. That's not always the case. So you might look at your incoming cable, your source, maybe it is a laptop or some PC computer that, is maybe 5, 6, 10 meters away. And if so, you may have your ones and zeros of your incoming signal. It's digital, ones and zeros. Look more like squiggly lines as you see here at the top. And if your ones and zeros don't have a nice, clear, open eye, then you may lose pixels. So we always apply our reclocking of that TMDS. That's your audio and video layer of HDMI. Stands for transition minimized differential signal. Now that Dwayne and Scott put me on the spot, I feel I have to keep using big words. And this is the 1 and 0. We that incoming where it looks hard to see that open eye, we apply it at the beginning, effectively giving you a brand new signal to all outputs. Thanks to that, our EDID control right there on the dial, 16 different handshake settings that you could give to your connected sources so that the installer guaranteeing that you're outputting a video and audio format that's compatible with your displays, and ultimately what you're trying to do perhaps with your audio as well with the breakout, give a 2-channel audio signal handshake, and now you know that your cable boxes are never going to output in surround sound if you're just going to a 2-channel amp, right? This is how you guarantee it on the front end. And then as we've been mentioning a few times here, the app GUI. It's not just the switching you see on the right-hand side, sending digital signage or cable to the sort. What are you measuring there? What are we doing here?
Nothing. I was trying to see something.
Trying to see how long the word was of the day.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how you get some of those words into Scrabble. That's got to be interesting.
Oh man, yeah. That was actually. Flankers. No, flanker was the big one. Flanker. Flanker. What was the other? I can't remember the other that I started off the game with. But so here we are. Now this is cool. This is doing more than just the switching. First of all, you can. Oh, I just heard a USB disconnect. What was it? You guys hear me all right still?
Yeah, it was your camera, Jonathan.
Oh shoot, I'm over here fidgeting like a moron. That's probably why. One moment.
No more espresso for you.
We can still see your presentation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to plug back in the camera. All right. So here we are with the app GUI. It does more than the switching. You could do your friendly names, of course, and we even see the display names like operations, ticketing, baggage claim, concourse. But you see what we're doing here? We also give you the ability to specify an output, and we can kill the signal. And what is that going to do for you? We're not technically controlling it, but you guys know that your displays anymore, if they don't see a signal, they will turn off within a minute or two typically.
Yep.
And there's a lot of pro monitors that do that, or even your consumer monitors. Effectively, we're enabling you to make sure those displays are off at the end of the day, and so this is just that added layer of, look, we don't have control built in here. We do have it on some other KeyDigital components, and we do have the control IR RS-232 pass-through, as I mentioned. But here's a way to actually control your monitors. And we've been doing this in a few locations. Forget the retail chain that does this, but maybe I shouldn't say it anyways if I do recall. But so there's more to it here than just what do you want to send, digital signage or your cable feed to all of your displays.
In many cases, you just make sure that power save is enabled on the displays, and when they don't see the signal within 2 to 3 minutes, they go into power save mode and shut down.
That's it, my man. So yeah, it's really a lot of thought went into this. Of course, I see I'm back here.
A lot. The KD app in so many different applications is like the entry level. I have a lot of dealers that will utilize this when somebody doesn't have the budget for full control. So you have partial control, but kind of primitive, you know, and then they use this as an entry level into a compass control, because now they've been used to using an iPad and say, hey, we're going to elaborate, you know, and we're going to get a little more technical here and add to it. I mean, for a free item to be able to do this, I mean, and pass off an iPad with a free app, still it amazes me how many people don't use it. But, you know, it's probably one of my favorite things. I use it at home all the time.
Well, and we're putting more and more into this KeyDigital app as well, as the products are now, you know, this initially the products weren't designed with the KeyDigital app in mind. The app came later. Then, you know, now we're really entering the generation of products that that was designed with the app in mind. And yeah, we have the professional control system. We play well with all the others as well. It's easy to integrate our products by other third parties, but now we're leveraging this app, doing everything to the point that, you know, go with the control system if you need to do lighting, or you need to control like thermostats, shades in the conference room, that kind of thing. But the app itself is almost enough for these audio, video, even controlling our cameras and that sort of thing type applications. So all you guys watching this, please just take us up on it. You know, give us a shout and say, hey, here's some jobs. Which one would be great for the app? And we'll get you, we'll find you a solid match. It's like
Dwayne and I utilize this every day. So everybody's seen it that's seen some of the KD Live in these episodes. So Dwayne can control everything behind him. I have a similar demo kit that we can go out, take that KD app and do a full blown demo.
Yeah.
And a lot of people just, it's the, you know, the jaw drop. They're like, wow, this works with this. You know, like I can download this for free. So definitely very, you know, a great resource, a great tool, which I don't think a lot of people utilize.
Well, it could just be that a lot of people are, and they're not calling you with any problems.
Yeah, more and more they are. And it works well. Also, even if you're not using it every day as the control system, it works well for our dealers to, when they're doing the install, before they get fully installed, they can test the equipment, make sure the switching's working, et cetera, et cetera. It's a great troubleshooting tool. But again, we're making it more into it almost feels like you've got a full control system. You know, some of our applications, depending on the devices in our presentation solution, using control, et cetera, can turn the TVs on and off if they have CEC capability. So it's becoming more and more robust all the time. Can do all the friendly names, as Jonathan mentioned, and a lot of change. You know, a lot of things you can update in it without actually doing any programming.
Yeah, it's and I was just speaking to engineering last week about kind of the next generation of updates for the KeyDigital app as well. And so it's going to keep on improving. And yeah, just there you go, making the life and jobs easier for the integrators. And it's not just them. We're thinking about the end users when we do this as well. So everybody in the process that we're selling to, and everybody who's using a KeyDigital system, we're really, really trying to make this as good and solid and strong as possible for you all. Well, gents, that's it. And from your perspective, anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, other than the big words you're using today, Jonathan, I think you have been successful on all the Coffee with Keys to drop in that line that we didn't do it this round was, you know, check boxes and drop down menus.
Oh man, well, if you want to set your friendly names, it's all done in the KDMS Pro, and it's just a drop down menu. Checkbox of yes, I want to add my friendly names, and then adding them in. Dang it, I tried, Scott. Thanks for the reminder, buddy.
And KDMS, which is our KD management software. Both of those. What's the price on that, Jonathan?
Free 99. My favorite 4-letter F word.
And Scott and I will even discount that even better and drop the 99 cents.
Yeah, very good. And speaking of the KDMS, so say you like that iPad GUI, but you want to just have that on your PC computer. Say you are doing corporate messaging and you're the one in charge of that. You don't have to pick up an iPad. You could just run it from our KeyDigital management software as well and have it on your PC, and voila. So that's another way of doing it.
Yeah, I got some viewers that use that like back of house style. So there's someone controlling it and doing the switching, you know. So that way they just open up the laptop and they're doing everything right from there.
Super cool.
We just make it easier and easier for people to function every day.
Man, I love it. All right. Well, Dwayne, Italian sweet cream reigns. Nice. Scott, light and sweet Craig. Signing off for my colleagues there. The best dad ever, as it says. It's official, guys. It's official.
You need more espresso.
Oh man, my buddy gave me free. Did I mention this last week? Because he gave it to me last week. Pilon. I typically drink the Central and South American espressos. Cafe Caribe is one of my tops, but Bustelo, typically Cafe Bustelo, and the Pilon is good. I will say in my ratings, it's Bustelo still numero uno. So any updates from you guys on the coffee front?
No, I'm locked in here, so I'm
It's a tough call. My go-to is Dunkin' Donuts, but my second favorite one, which a lot of people are like, what is that? But Wawa coffee.
Ooh, they just built one, Wawa. It's in Belleville, New Jersey. It's next to over from me, but super close to my house.
Definitely a Jersey thing.
It's definitely a Jersey thing. There's like regional battles over like Wawa or Quick Check, Wawa, or sometimes it gets into you go into the Pennsylvania and you got Wawa versus Sheetz.
Sheetz, Circle K. I mean, there's so many convenience stores, but Wawa, like their turn of how often they make it. Like I've never stopped into a Wawa and had a bad cup of coffee. Dunkin' Donuts, I'm not disparaging them or bashing them, but they hit or miss. Where like you'll have coffee grind in the bottom.
That's why I like espresso. Like the espresso it's not, because obviously like your Starbucks of the world has a real distinct taste. They're roast, right? Dunkin' Donuts, very distinct taste, their roast, and Wawa, et cetera. But when you have an espresso, you're still just having an espresso, and since that's what I like, that's kind of that's been a good safe way to go. It's kind of like
high octane.
Yeah. Like I used to, anyways. I really be into the craft beers, and one of the early craft beers was Sierra Nevada, and they're not only does it taste great, it's got that more hoppy flavor. It's not called a IPA because they were the original, like they were like the true hipsters. Oh, okay, hold on, real quick. Hey, you guys. You guys know how the hipster burnt his mouth?
No.
I'll go in there.
He drank his coffee before it was cool.
Oh, your son give you that one?
Wow.
Hey, it's a coffee related joke, but yeah, they're basically you could go to any, you're going to be able to find the Sierra Nevada, whereas a lot of the craft beer scene is like very regional, but that'll be saved for another podcast mayhaps. This is coffee.
So, gotta give a little shout out. You guys have been talking regionally up in the Northeast about all your different coffee shops. Many of you know that I lived in Nashville for 20 years. So if you get down to Nashville, check out Bongo Java and Frothy Monkey, which is my daughter's favorite coffee shop in Nashville. So, and Bongo Java is really a little more regional, but they're based right there in Nashville. Great coffee shops.
Oh, that's cool. And hey, Dwayne, I noticed your mug earlier. You want to give a shout out?
Yeah, I do. from the donut hole, if you guys have been down to the the Emerald Coast, Florida, the Panhandle area, there's a donut hole basically on the end of 30A, which 30A is just a beautiful section of the beach there with lots of great vacation spots. Unfortunately, a lot of these people down there are getting flooded right now with the hurricane. And so shout out to them. Great coffee, great donuts. My daughter's favorite there is the red velvet donut. And I haven't been there in a couple of years now, but it's a great place. If you get down on the Emerald Coast, once the hurricanes are past, stop in at the donut hole.
Yeah, we'll hope for the best for those people. And thanks for doing that. And well said. And you're making me hungry with that red velvet.
What you got, Scott?
Did you see Mike's comment there?
No, I did not.
Mike just threw out real quick. He said, "Hey, Dwayne, I had no idea people in the South actually drink coffee."
Well, we just alienated the whole South.
I'd say the second thing would be sweet tea, right? That's a whole big thing too.
What's sweet tea? No, what's sweet tea? We have tea. Yeah. We have tea, and we have unsweet tea.
Yeah.
There is no such thing as sweet tea in the South.
Is it unsweet or unsweetened?
Unsweet.
Unsweet.
Yeah. Jonathan, I'm surprised you haven't figured out how to combine your favorite coffee with your new favorite Carolina Reaper pepper that you, I believe, sampled this week.
Well, I had a Reaper. Yeah. So that was an adventure. One of our dealers sent me some Will from CMC Custom Media Connections down in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Yep.
And so another shout out. He had a great garden full of peppers. Hurricane tree fell right on his garden, and he sent me a picture. I think we're done with peppers. Next day, he sent me another picture. He got to work, man. Chainsawed up that entire tree, saved a number of plants, thank goodness, and sent me Reapers and ghost peppers. And I planned to make some hot sauce with it. And then he said, "No, you got to eat one raw." And I'm not crazy, but I've done it before. You don't want to eat a raw Reaper pepper, like your hot sauces are never as bad as a raw pepper. And so I did one day. My wife was out, so I said, "You know what? All right, before she gets home, because I don't want her to see me looking like a sweaty mess, sobbing, sweating, nose dripping." Well, she came home before I could finish my salad, which I had cut the whole pepper up and put it in. And I was a complete disaster. And that was intense. First bite, I didn't go hard. Like I didn't go looking for the biggest piece or the piece with the most seeds or anything. First bite immediately started hiccuping. But Dwayne, to your point, last winter, I did have some dried Carolina Reaper, dried ghost peppers, your bot jalokias, as they're called for the pepper heads out there. Latin. I had a dried ghost pepper, and I made ramen with it. I just put it in the bowl, just the pepper itself, and I poured all the boiling water right over that. And first sip of the broth, it just opened and lit me up, man. I could not handle it. It was intense. But never quit. Always. And you guys, if you're with us, you're having a coffee break, maybe you're going to go down an internet wormhole. Check out our YouTube channel. KeyDigital YouTube channel has our spicy ramen challenge from a few years ago. Our buddy CU was interning at the time. He won it. The kid just swallowed the entire lump of noodles all at once. You could see like an anaconda versus crocodile. You could see the entire thing just go down his neck, like he didn't even bite the noodles. He just swallowed it all. That was a fun one.
Then he got.
He lived to sell the story, thankfully.
Tell the story.
I had one more story on the topic of the ghost peppers. I typically go to the New York City Hot Sauce Expo as an attendee, not as an exhibitor. And this past year, my son just, I don't want to let him down. He said, "Dad, haven't you ever done one of these challenges?" So it was nice and early in the morning. And I was like, all right, competition doesn't look too stiff. It was a ghost pepper donut. And so I'm sizing this thing up. It was a donut with, it was a powdered donut. And so I'm thinking, okay, I'm looking at it, getting my strategy in my head. And, I'm just thinking, don't inhale when you eat this, right? Powder. I don't want it to go lodge into my throat. And so I'm sizing it up. All right, 3, 2, 1, eat. And so I took a breath out as I ate, and I didn't think about the powder itself had like ghost powder, the powdered sugar. So I breathed out, and it flared up the powder all into my face, and I was on fire the rest of the day. It looked like I just had like the worst suntan in the world. My whole face was red, and like everything except for around my eye area, I should say. So I was like kind of the reverse suntan, in fact, where people typically have their sunglasses, you get the raccoon eyes. I was just all around my eye area. I got second place, unfortunately, too. And
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, man. Anyways,
well,
maybe
next year. Maybe next year.
That's right. Enough of the stories, I suppose. Guys, Scott and Dwayne, anything you gentlemen would like to plug before we bid our audience adieu?
No. I think we've covered it very well. And just give us a call or reach out at sales@keydigital.com. Check out all our other products on KeyDigital.com as well on our website. But give us a call if you have a use for these 2x4 and 2x8s, and I think we can help you design your system. We'll do that too. Our system design group is always free resource for our dealers and distributors. So, Scott, you got anything?
I was if anyone can remember or has watched this live broadcast or watches the replay, if they tell us 3 words that Jonathan mentioned during his Scrabble, which I'm not going to repeat the words, we can go through and offer a discount to the 2x4 and the 2x8. We'll give them an insane discount if somebody watches this, comments the 3 key words.
Absolutely. Through the end of the month.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. Put a time limit on that one. All right, guys. Fantastic. Thanks for joining me today. Mike Sinberg in the comments section, and anybody else, even though if it's not live throughout the day, please drop us a comment here, and we have free coffees waiting for you guys, so don't be shy. So comment, like, share, etc. We'll chat with you guys on the other side. We'll see you. Oh wait, I ruined the sign off. We'll see you on our next cup of coffee with Key.
Oh.
There you go, Scott.